Have you ever stopped to wonder if the very place you rest your head each night might be quietly harming your health? It's a startling thought, but one that many seniors like you might not realize. I know how easy it is to trust the comforts of home, to believe that our bedrooms are safe havens for rest and healing. I used to feel the same way until I learned about some hidden dangers lurking just inches away while I slept. It's frustrating and a little upsetting to think that everyday devices we rely on, like our alarm clocks or Wi-Fi routers, could be quietly affecting our sleep, energy, and overall well-being. I remember my struggles with restless nights and foggy mornings, not understanding why I felt so drained despite my best efforts. It's a common story, one that I'm sure many of you have lived through too. But here's the good news. Protecting yourself doesn't mean uprooting your life or giving up the things you enjoy. There are simple, gentle changes you can make that don't require any fancy equipment or expensive fixes. In this video, I'll share easy tips to reduce harmful radiation from everyday bedroom items, helping you sleep deeper, feel more energized, and protect your health as you age. These aren't complicated steps. They're practical, proven, and designed with you in mind. Imagine waking up refreshed, knowing your bedroom is truly a sanctuary for healing. Have you ever noticed any odd symptoms you couldn't explain? Or maybe you've wondered if your bedroom setup is as safe as it seems. I'd love for you to share your experiences below, because you deserve to live well and rest peacefully every single night. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. Now, let's begin. 1. Digital alarm clocks. If you look around your bedroom right now, chances are you'll spot a small, unassuming device perched on your nightstand, the digital alarm clock. Maybe it's been with you for years, faithfully waking you up for work, church, or the joyful clamor of grandkids visiting for Sunday breakfast. For many of us, that little glowing rectangle is as familiar as the quilt we pull up each night. But what if I told you that your trusty digital alarm clock, the one that has accompanied you through countless early mornings and late-night worries, might be silently working against you as you sleep? It might sound far-fetched at first. I remember thinking the same thing. After all, how could such a harmless device, a modern convenience we all take for granted, cause any real trouble? Yet, more and more research, along with real-life stories from people just like you and me, are beginning to paint a different picture. Let me share a story that might sound familiar. Evelyn, a 73-year-old retired schoolteacher from Oregon, spent years battling a mysterious exhaustion. No matter how early she went to bed, she'd wake up feeling foggy, unrest, and sometimes with a splitting headache. She'd joke with her friends at bridge club about old age insomnia, but inside, she was worried. After trying every remedy she could think of, prescription sleep aids, warm milk, lavender spray on her pillow, nothing seemed to help. Her doctors were puzzled too, chalking her troubles up to just getting older. It wasn't until a chance conversation with her niece, a young nurse, that Evelyn considered a connection she'd never thought about before: her bedroom environment. Specifically, the electronic devices clustered around her bed: her phone, her electric blanket, and, yes, her digital alarm clock, which sat less than a foot from her head every single night. Curious, Evelyn did some digging. She discovered a growing body of research from reputable institutions, like the International Institute of Building Biology and Ecology, warning that digital alarm clocks emit electromagnetic frequencies, EMFs, 24 hours a day. These EMFs are invisible, odorless, and completely silent. However, scientists have found that even low-level, chronic exposure to EMFs, especially at night when your body is supposed to be healing, can disrupt your sleep cycles, lower your melatonin production, and put extra stress on your immune system. For seniors over 65, the risk appears to be even greater. As we age, our bodies naturally become less efficient at repairing cellular damage. Dr. Samuel Wilson, Director of Environmental Medicine at the Institute, explains that adults over 65 may be up to 3 times more vulnerable to EMF-related health problems than younger adults. Digital clocks produce a constant electromagnetic field that's particularly harmful to seniors, he warns. This exposure is especially concerning during sleep when the body should be repairing and regenerating. Evelyn was skeptical but willing to try anything. That night, she unplugged her digital alarm clock and replaced it with an old-fashioned wind-up model she found in a drawer. She felt a little silly at first, but she figured, what did she have to lose? The results were, in her words, nothing short of miraculous. Within 4 nights, Evelyn was sleeping more soundly than she had in years. The headaches vanished. She woke up with more energy and even found herself humming while making her morning coffee. Her story isn't unique. I've spoken to many seniors who have experienced similar miracle moments after simply removing or distancing electronic devices from their bedsides. Why does such a small change make such a big difference? The answer lies in the way our bodies respond to EMFs during sleep. Sleep is not just about rest, it's when our brains process memories, our muscles repair themselves, and our immune systems fight off disease. EMF exposure can confuse these delicate processes, making it harder to fall into deep, restorative sleep. For older adults, this disruption can quickly add up, affecting everything from memory and mood to heart health and resilience against illness. But here's the thing. Most people never suspect the digital alarm clock. Its glowing numbers are comforting, almost soothing. Many of us grew up in a world where technology was seen as a marvel, a sign of progress and safety. It's hard to accept that something so ordinary could be causing harm. But knowledge is power, and making your bedroom a true sanctuary for healing is well within your reach. So, what can you do? The answer is both simple and affordable. First, consider swapping out your digital alarm clock for a battery-powered analog model. These clocks do not emit EMFs and will wake you just as reliably, without the hidden cost to your health. If you prefer the convenience of a digital clock, move it at least 6 feet away from your bed. This distance dramatically reduces your exposure to electromagnetic fields while you sleep. Ideally, keep any plugged-in device, not just your alarm clock, away from your head and body as you rest. For some, the idea of giving up a digital alarm clock may feel like a small loss of comfort or routine. But I'd encourage you to think about what you might gain in exchange. Deeper sleep, clearer mornings, more energy for the things and people you love. Many seniors, after making this small change, report not only feeling better physically but also gaining a sense of control and empowerment over their health. It's a gentle reminder that, even as we age, our choices still matter, and can lead to meaningful improvements in how we feel every single day. You may wonder, isn't all this just a bit over the top? Haven't people slept next to electronics for decades? It's true. We live in a world surrounded by gadgets and conveniences. But our bodies, especially as we age, become more sensitive to subtle disruptions. Science continues to uncover connections between our environment and our well-being that previous generations simply couldn't have known. If you're still unsure, try Evelyn's experiment for yourself. Unplug your digital alarm clock for a week and see how you feel. Pay attention to your sleep, your mood, your headaches, and your energy. Sometimes, the body whispers before it shouts. Small improvements can be a sign you're moving in the right direction. Let's not forget, too, the emotional comfort that comes from taking gentle action in caring for ourselves. Changing your alarm clock might seem minor, but it's a statement. My health matters. I deserve restful sleep. It's a small step with a ripple effect, one that can inspire you to keep looking for ways to improve your bedroom environment, one gentle change at a time. As you reflect on your routines, remember that you are not alone in facing these hidden challenges. Each night is an opportunity to restore, to heal, and to wake with a sense of renewal. You've spent a lifetime caring for others. Now, perhaps more than ever, you deserve to care for yourself with that same devotion. So tonight, as you wind down for bed, take a moment to notice your nightstand. Consider what's essential and what might be quietly getting in the way of the rest you need and deserve. In the soft darkness, let your bedroom become what it was always meant to be, a place of peace, safety, and renewal. Because every senior, every person, deserves to wake up feeling truly refreshed day after day, for all the beautiful mornings still to come. 2. Wireless routers and Wi-Fi devices. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. If you close your eyes and picture the modern American home, it's hard to imagine it without that small, blinking box sitting quietly in a corner or perched atop a dresser, the wireless router. Maybe yours has become just another part of the background, a little tangle of cords, perhaps a few dust bunnies lurking underneath, a source of internet magic for grandkids' video calls and quiet nights spent reading or watching the news on a tablet. In the span of a single generation, Wi-Fi has become as natural as running water. But what if I told you that this very convenience could be making it harder for you to rest, think clearly, or feel your best? It's easy to shrug off such concerns. After all, the internet is everywhere, and we're told how vital it is to stay connected, especially as we get older and friends and family scatter across the country. I once thought the same. The router in my bedroom was my lifeline, the portal that kept me close to loved ones far away. It seemed harmless, almost comforting, humming quietly as I drifted off to sleep. But then the little annoyances began. Headaches on waking, a heaviness in my chest, and the feeling that no matter how many hours I spent in bed, true rest was always just out of reach. At first, I blamed the usual suspects: age, stress, perhaps just too much late-night news. But the more I talked to friends my age, the more I realized I wasn't alone. Stories poured out at Sunday lunches and bingo nights. I can't seem to focus anymore, or, lately, my heart just feels off. Many brushed these symptoms aside, but a few, like my neighbor Stanley, decided to dig a little deeper. Stanley, a retired engineer with a knack for details, started keeping a diary. He noticed that on nights when his Wi-Fi router was running in the bedroom, his memory seemed foggier, and his heart sometimes skipped a beat or raced unpredictably. He even caught himself mixing up names and struggling with basic math, a new and unsettling development for a man who once built bridges for a living. His daughter, a nurse, wondered aloud if something in the house might be interfering with his sleep. "Maybe it's the router," she suggested, hesitantly, recalling a news story about EMF exposure and the aging brain. Skeptical but curious, Stanley moved his wireless router downstairs, as far from his bedroom as possible. The first few nights felt strange, almost too quiet without the familiar flickering lights. But within 3 weeks, Stanley noticed subtle changes. The headaches faded, his memory felt sharper, and even his heart rhythm calmed. At his next checkup, his cardiologist was amazed. Stanley's cognitive test scores had improved by nearly 30%. "Whatever you're doing," the doctor told him, "keep it up." Stories like Stanley's are becoming more common as scientists dig deeper into the relationship between EMF radiation and aging. At UCLA Medical Center, neurologists have been studying the ways in which radio frequency signals from Wi-Fi routers can slip past the brain's protective barriers. Barriers that, for seniors, become more permeable with age. Dr. Jennifer Kleen, who leads the hospital's EMF research department, puts it plainly: the blood-brain barrier is our body's shield, keeping out toxins and harmful substances. When we expose ourselves to wireless radiation all night, especially as we grow older, that shield can weaken. For many older adults, this means toxins can reach brain tissue, potentially speeding up memory problems, confusion, or mood changes. The science is complicated, but the advice is simple. Wireless routers and Wi-Fi devices send out invisible pulses of energy, radio frequencies, that travel right through walls, furniture, and yes, our bodies. During the day, these signals are just a part of modern life. But at night, when our bodies and brains need to repair, reset, and heal, these pulses can act as a kind of static, interrupting the delicate dance of hormones and electrical signals that regulate everything from sleep cycles to heart rhythm. It's not just the brain that's at risk. Cardiologists have documented links between chronic nighttime exposure to wireless radiation and irregular heartbeats in seniors. That flutter in your chest or skipped heartbeat that keeps you awake at 3 a.m. It may have more to do with your bedroom router than last night's cup of coffee. For those of us over 65, whose bodies no longer bounce back as easily, these hidden stressors can pile up. Each night spent bathed in wireless signals is a night our brains and hearts must work harder, robbing us of the deep, restorative sleep that is so essential as we age. And yet, most of us never think twice about the little black box on the dresser, humming away while we dream. But here's the good news. You don't have to banish the internet from your home or become a hermit to protect your health. Small, thoughtful changes can make a world of difference. First, move your Wi-Fi router as far from your bedroom as possible. Down the hall, to another floor, or even tucked in a closet in your home office. Every extra foot between you and your router reduces the amount of radiation you absorb while you sleep. If you want to take it a step further, consider putting your router on a timer so it automatically shuts off at bedtime and restarts in the morning. After all, you don't need to be online while you're fast asleep. Many modern routers can even be programmed to turn off and on at set times. If you're handy or have tech-savvy grandchildren, setting this up can be quick and easy. For those who want the ultimate peace of mind, switching to a wired connection, using Ethernet cables for computers or streaming devices, virtually eliminates wireless radiation, at least in your sleeping areas. This option isn't just for techies anymore. Most electronic stores sell affordable Ethernet kits that even beginners can install with a little patience. What if you have a smart TV, wireless speakers, or other Wi-Fi-enabled gadgets in the bedroom? Do your best to move them to other rooms, or unplug them at night if possible. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Each device you relocate or unplug is one less source of invisible noise, one more layer of protection for your aging brain and heart. The real transformation, however, comes not just in the devices we move, but in the way we begin to view our bedrooms. Imagine stepping into a space that feels truly restful, quiet, calm, and free from invisible clutter. For seniors, every good night's sleep is a step toward a stronger memory, a steadier mood, and a healthier heart. These are gifts you can give yourself, starting tonight. And if you still have doubts, remember Stanley's story, and the stories of countless others who made a small change and discovered big results. Sometimes the answer isn't another medication or a new gadget, but a return to basics. Quiet nights, less interference, and deep, natural sleep. So tonight, before you turn out the light, take a look around your bedroom. Is there a router blinking at you from across the room? Is your phone or tablet searching for a Wi-Fi signal beside your bed? A few simple shifts can help restore your bedroom to what it was always meant to be, a place of deep rest and healing. You deserve more than just sleep. You deserve nights that renew you and mornings that greet you with clarity and calm. Don't let convenience rob you of the restorative power of a truly peaceful bedroom. You've earned the right to rest well, so give your brain and your heart the quiet sanctuary they need to keep you healthy for all the years ahead. 3. Plug in air fresheners and ionizers. If you ask most people what makes a home feel inviting, they'll often mention the little things. A soft chair by the window, sunlight warming the rug, and, above all, that comforting familiar scent when you walk through the door. Maybe your own home smells like freshly baked bread, a hint of coffee in the morning, or the gentle floral note of a plug-in air freshener tucked discreetly in an outlet near your bed. For many, that subtle fragrance feels like a final, caring touch, a way to create peace and comfort at the end of a long day. I understand. There's something reassuring about returning to a bedroom that smells clean and calming, especially after a lifetime of caring for others and holding your own home to a standard of warmth and welcome. Over the years, you might have tried different plug-in air fresheners or ionizers, those little devices promising to chase away musty smells or bring a burst of spring to your evenings. They're simple, affordable, and, until recently, seemed entirely harmless. But as the years have passed, a new understanding has started to take hold, one that's both unsettling and empowering. It's the realization that those devices, humming quietly as you sleep, might be doing more harm than good. I'll be honest. The first time I heard about the dangers of plug-in air fresheners, I was skeptical. Weren't they approved for use? Didn't they sell them in every grocery store, right alongside soap and toothpaste? It didn't seem possible that something so ordinary could threaten the very comfort I was trying to create. Yet, as I learned more, I found stories that hit painfully close to home. Virginia, a 77-year-old widow from Florida, spent years filling her home with gentle floral scents from plug-in air fresheners. "I loved how they made my house smell," she confessed, her eyes lighting up with a memory of Sunday dinners and visits from her grandchildren. But then, almost out of nowhere, she began to struggle with a persistent, nagging cough. Her chest felt tight at night. Breathing was harder, and worst of all, no doctor could figure out the cause. Virginia's daughter worried. She insisted on taking her mom home for a week, hoping a change of scenery would help. Within just a few days, without a single air freshener in sight, Virginia's cough eased, and she was sleeping through the night again. The connection seemed too simple to be true, but as her daughter slowly removed every plug-in device from Virginia's home, her mother's health continued to improve. The relief was so dramatic that even Virginia's pulmonologist was amazed. Her lung function rebounded, her breath became deeper and easier, and the heavy weight in her chest lifted at last. Virginia's story isn't unique. Across the country, pulmonologists at institutions like Johns Hopkins have started sounding the alarm. Plug-in air fresheners and ionizers are more than just a minor nuisance. They're a hidden source of both electromagnetic radiation and chemical exposure, especially dangerous for older adults. Dr. Robert Chen, a leading pulmonary specialist, explains, "These devices are problematic on two levels. First, they emit constant electromagnetic fields while plugged in, and second, they release chemical compounds into the air. When inhaled, especially during deep sleep, these substances can irritate the lungs, inflame the respiratory tract, and make breathing more difficult." The research is sobering. In adults over 65, prolonged exposure to plug-in air fresheners and ionizers has been linked to a 23% decrease in lung function after just a month of nightly use. That's not just a statistic. It's the difference between an easy breath and a wheeze, between restful sleep and waking up gasping in the dark. For seniors with asthma or underlying heart or lung conditions, these effects are even more pronounced, sometimes leading to frightening hospital visits or new medications. It's easy to dismiss these warnings as overblown. After all, we've trusted these products for years, and they're sold everywhere. But age brings wisdom, and wisdom sometimes means pausing to look closer, to ask if the conveniences we take for granted are truly serving us. Plug-in air fresheners and ionizers may mask unpleasant odors, but at what cost? Is a synthetic fragrance worth the risk of damaging the lungs you've relied on for so many decades? If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. If all this feels a bit overwhelming, you're not alone. Change is hard, especially when it means letting go of something that brought a little extra comfort to your days. But I want to assure you, there are gentle, easy ways to keep your bedroom fresh and inviting, without sacrificing your health. Many seniors who make the switch say their homes feel even cleaner and more welcoming than before. Start by unplugging every electric air freshener and ionizer in your bedroom. It's a simple act, but one that instantly eliminates a major source of both electromagnetic radiation and chemical exposure. You don't have to throw them away. Just set them aside for a week and see how you feel. Notice if your breathing improves, if your sleep feels deeper, if you wake up with a clearer head and a lighter chest. For those who still crave a fresh, pleasant scent, there are natural alternatives that work just as well, often better. Place a few small bowls of baking soda around the room to absorb lingering odors, or tuck cotton balls sprinkled with a drop or two of your favorite essential oil in a drawer or on a high shelf. Always keep oils away from your pillow to avoid skin irritation. Lavender sachets, dried cedar, or even a vase of fresh flowers can bring gentle, comforting aromas into your space without chemicals or electricity. If you prefer, open a window during the day, Let sunlight pour in, and invite the breeze to carry away any mustiness. These are small changes, but their impact is profound. One friend told me, after I switched to baking soda and lavender, my bedroom not only smelled wonderful, but I felt better. I had fewer headaches, my breathing eased, and my family noticed I was more energetic. I never realized how much those plug-ins were weighing me down. Choosing to remove plug-in air fresheners and ionizers isn't just about avoiding harm. It's about reclaiming your health and comfort, about honoring the body that has carried you through so many years. It's a gentle way of saying, I deserve to breathe easy. I deserve nights of deep, restful sleep. And if you ever doubt whether these small acts matter, remember Virginia's story, and perhaps your moments of unexpected discomfort. Our homes are meant to be places of safety, not silent sources of worry. By taking a few moments to look around your bedroom, unplug a device, or try a natural alternative, you're giving yourself the gift of better health, one easy breath at a time. So tonight, as you turn down the covers and prepare for rest, take a look at your outlets and shelves. Is there a plug-in air freshener glowing softly in the corner? Is there a device promising a clean scent at the touch of a button? Gently remove it, just for a week. See how you feel, how your sleep changes, how your lungs greet the morning. You've spent a lifetime creating a home full of love, laughter, and cherished memories. Now, with a few thoughtful choices, you can ensure your bedroom is also a place of true healing, a sanctuary for body and spirit, as refreshing as a gentle breeze, and as safe as the embrace of those you love. 4. Charging smartphones and tablets. Take a quick look at your nightstand. If you're like most people, your smartphone or tablet is sitting there. Maybe charging, maybe just waiting in case you need to check the time, the weather, or the latest message from a loved one. For so many of us, these little devices have become more than just phones. They are alarm clocks, photo albums, flashlights, newsrooms, and lifelines to family and friends who live miles away. It's almost second nature to plug them in beside the bed at night, thinking, what's the harm? I used to do it too. There's a certain comfort in knowing your phone is close by. After all, what if someone needs you in the middle of the night? Or what if you want to listen to a calming story as you drift off to sleep? It's just so easy to set the charger next to your pillow, reach over for one last look at your favorite family photo, and then let the soft glow of the screen lull you to sleep. It feels safe, almost like a connection to the world, even as you rest. But behind this simple habit lies an invisible risk that most of us never consider, especially as we get older and our bodies become more sensitive to the environment around us. Scientists have discovered that charging electronic devices like smartphones and tablets in your bedroom, especially right next to where you sleep, can expose you to higher levels of electromagnetic radiation than you might imagine. And as we age, our bodies don't repair themselves as quickly or as well during the night, making us more vulnerable to even low doses of radiation. Let me share the story of Thomas, a 69-year-old retired professor from Arizona. Like many people his age, Thomas had gotten into the routine of charging his phone overnight on his nightstand. He used it as his alarm, checked messages from his son in California before turning out the lights, and even played a few games of solitaire when sleep didn't come easily. It was practical and, to be honest, gave him a sense of security in the quiet hours after midnight. But over time, Thomas began to notice changes that he couldn't explain. He started waking up with ringing in his ears, a faint but persistent sound that followed him throughout the day. Headaches became a frequent companion, and his sleep was restless and broken. He chalked it up to the age at first, but when the symptoms grew worse and he found himself too tired to enjoy his morning walks or focus on his favorite crossword puzzles, he finally mentioned it to his doctor. His physician, keeping up with the latest research on EMF, electromagnetic field, exposure, asked Thomas about his sleep environment. When Thomas mentioned charging his phone right next to his head every night, the doctor gently suggested a change. Move the charger out of the bedroom entirely, and if he had to keep his phone nearby for emergencies, at least put it in airplane mode overnight. Thomas was skeptical, but he agreed to try. The first night felt strange. He kept reaching for his phone, out of habit, only to remember it was charging in the kitchen instead. But within just a few nights, something remarkable happened. The headaches faded. The ringing in his ears lessened and then disappeared. Most of all, Thomas woke up feeling truly rested for the first time in years. His sleep tracker, a device he used for fun, showed his deep sleep had improved by more than 60%. Even his mood was lighter, his mind clearer. You might wonder how something as small as a phone charger could have such a big effect. The answer lies in the way electronic devices behave while charging. Studies from the National Institute of Aging have shown that charging devices emit stronger electromagnetic fields than when they're simply powered on or in standby mode. That charging zone can extend several feet, enveloping your head and upper body in a field of invisible energy as you sleep. For older adults, whose cells repair more slowly at night, this exposure can speed up cellular aging, disturb the rhythms of the heart, and disrupt the production of melatonin, a hormone that helps you sleep deeply and fight disease. The risks don't stop there. Research has linked chronic EMF exposure during sleep to an increased risk of memory problems, anxiety, and even cardiovascular issues. It's a chain reaction. Poor sleep leads to lower energy, which leads to less movement and more stress, creating a cycle that's especially hard to break in your golden years. But the solution is refreshingly simple. First, never charge your smartphone, tablet, or any electronic device in your bedroom, especially not overnight. Create a dedicated charging station in another room, like the kitchen, office, or living room. If you use your phone as an alarm clock, consider buying a battery-powered alarm instead. They're inexpensive and don't emit radiation. And if you truly need your phone nearby for peace of mind, always switch it to airplane mode before you sleep. That single step blocks nearly all EMF emissions while still allowing you to use the alarm or other offline features. Many people worry about being cut off from the world if they move their devices out of reach. But ask yourself, what is the value of one peaceful, fully restorative night of sleep? What is it worth to wake up with clear thoughts and energy for the day ahead? For most, the answer is simple. It's priceless. After a week of charging his phone in the kitchen, Thomas found his anxiety about missing out had faded. He joked that if it was truly urgent, his landline would ring loud enough to wake the neighbors. And the benefits were real. He felt younger, more alert, and eager to tackle his morning routine. You might notice, as others have, that your sleep deepens, your headaches fade, and your mornings are brighter just by making this tiny adjustment. And if you share your home with others, you'll be setting a healthy example, proving that sometimes the most meaningful changes come from the smallest acts of self-care. So tonight, as you tuck yourself in, take a look at what's resting on your nightstand. Is your phone quietly charging beside you? Its screen dark but its invisible energy humming through the room? Ask yourself if a little convenience is worth the trade-off. Take a gentle leap and move the charger out of the bedroom. Try it for a week. See how you feel, how you sleep, how you wake. This is your time to claim restful nights and brighter days. You've given so much to others. Now it's your turn to give yourself the gift of deep, healing sleep. You deserve to wake up refreshed, with energy for all the little joys life brings, be it a walk in the garden, a call from a friend, or simply the peace that comes from knowing you've done something kind for your health. One small change, one better night's sleep, can make all the difference. 5. Electric blankets and heating pads. There's something undeniably comforting about slipping into a warm bed on a cold night, especially as we get older and the chill seems to seep deeper into our bones. Maybe you, too, have a routine, turning on your electric blanket while you brush your teeth, letting the gentle heat soften stiff joints and coax the day's tension out of your muscles. Or perhaps, when an old ache flares up, you reach for your trusted heating pad, draping it across your lower back or arthritic knee, waiting for that familiar wave of relief. In many ways, these electric helpers have become as much a part of our bedrooms as the pillows and quilts we cherish. But like so many modern conveniences, what starts as comfort can carry risks we never imagined, especially as we age. I remember my reluctance when I first heard concerns about electric blankets. What could be dangerous about a little warmth? I thought, I've been using this for years. Maybe you feel the same, or perhaps you even scoff at the idea. After all, isn't sleep supposed to be the time when we heal? That's exactly the point. Sleep is our body's best opportunity for repair. Yet, when we surround ourselves with electromagnetic fields, EMFs, from plugged-in electric blankets and heating pads, we're quietly inviting hidden stress into our most vulnerable hours. Scientists at the Environmental Medicine Research Institute have been studying this connection, and their findings are both eye-opening and deeply relevant for seniors. Dr. Elizabeth Foster, the Institute's research director, describes electric blankets as unique in their risk. Unlike other sources of EMFs that sit several feet away, electric blankets wrap your entire body in a concentrated electromagnetic field for hours at a time. While these fields are invisible and silent, research shows that they can increase inflammation markers in the blood by as much as 35% for adults over 65. For seniors already managing joint pain, heart conditions, or trouble sleeping, this added stress can quietly chip away at quality of life. Dorothy, a 75-year-old retiree from Minnesota, knows this story all too well. Winters in her small town are long and harsh, and for years her electric blanket was a trusted friend. She would layer it under her flannel sheets, set it on low, and fall asleep feeling safe and cozy. But over time, Dorothy noticed changes she couldn't explain. Her joints ached more, her sleep grew restless, and her heart sometimes skipped in a way that left her breathless with worry. At first, she dismissed these symptoms as just getting older, but her family grew concerned. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. During a routine checkup, her cardiologist asked about her nightly routine. When Dorothy explained her use of the electric blanket, the doctor recommended an experiment. Put the blanket away for a month and switch to natural warmth, wool, down, and layers of flannel. Dorothy was skeptical but agreed. The first nights were tough. She missed the instant heat and worried about waking up cold. But within weeks, she noticed the difference. Her joint pain began to ease. Her sleep deepened, and she awoke feeling calmer, her heart no longer skipping erratically. At her next appointment, her inflammatory markers had improved, and her heart rhythm was steady once more. What's happening here? While not everyone experiences symptoms as quickly or dramatically as Dorothy, the science is clear. EMF exposure from electric blankets and heating pads is real, and its effects are magnified in older bodies. As we age, our tissues become more sensitive, our immune systems less nimble, and our natural ability to recover from cellular stress is reduced. Prolonged, whole-body EMF exposure can disrupt our natural sleep cycles, contribute to inflammation, and even trigger heart arrhythmias or exacerbate chronic pain. It's a story that resonates with countless older adults who have long sought comfort, only to find themselves trading one problem for another. But here's the good news. You don't have to shiver through the night or suffer from cold, aching joints just to protect your health. There are gentle, effective alternatives that provide all the warmth and none of the risk. Start by layering natural materials. Wool, down, and flannel are champions at trapping body heat, and when used together, they create a cocoon of warmth without a single wire or plug. On especially cold nights, consider a hot water bottle or a microwavable rice or flax bag. These old-fashioned remedies warm the bed beautifully and safely, radiating heat long after you've turned out the light. If you rely on heat for chronic pain, it's understandable. Stiff shoulders and sore backs can make falling asleep nearly impossible. Instead of an electric pad, try a microwavable heating pack. They're simple to use, inexpensive, and emit zero EMFs. Just warm them in the microwave, wrap them in a towel if needed, and place them wherever you need soothing. These packs provide steady, moist heat, the kind doctors often recommend for joint and muscle relief, without bathing your body in an electromagnetic field all night. Another helpful tip: if you love the warmth of an electric blanket, use it to preheat your bed, then unplug it before you climb in. This way, you enjoy the comfort of a warm mattress while you settle down, but sleep the night away without constant exposure to EMFs. These may sound like small changes, but for many seniors, the impact is dramatic. After switching away from electric blankets and heating pads, people often notice not just better sleep and fewer aches, but a subtle sense of vitality, a lightness that comes from giving the body the space it needs to restore itself undisturbed. There's also an emotional benefit in reclaiming your nightly routine. Choosing gentle warmth over wires and circuits is a way of honoring your well-being, a quiet statement that says, "My comfort matters, but so does my health." It's a reminder that the small acts of self-care are never wasted, and that wisdom comes not just from years, but from listening to what our bodies truly need. If you're unsure, consider Dorothy's journey, and perhaps your own quiet discomforts. Sometimes, we get so used to a little pain or poor sleep that we forget how much better things can be. You deserve more than just a warm bed. You deserve restorative rest and peaceful nights. Try setting aside your electric blanket for a week, and see how your body responds. Notice if your aches lessen, your sleep deepens, and your mornings grow a little brighter. The world outside may be cold and unpredictable, but your bedroom can be a haven, a place of warmth, safety, and renewal. By making a gentle change tonight, you're taking a powerful step toward better health and well-being. You've spent a lifetime caring for others. Now it's your turn to care for yourself, with the same kindness and attention you give so freely. So as you turn down the covers and settle in for the night, remember, comfort and safety go hand in hand. Let your bed be a source of true healing, not just from the cold, but from all the little stresses that stand between you and a restful, restorative sleep. The gift of warmth doesn't need a cord or a switch. It's found in the softness of a quilt, the gentle weight of a comforter, and the quiet knowledge that you've chosen what's best for your one and only, irreplaceable self. As we come to the close of this journey through the hidden risks in our bedrooms, take a moment to breathe deeply and reflect. For many of us, these everyday items, digital alarm clocks, Wi-Fi routers, plug-in air fresheners, charging devices, and electric blankets, have quietly woven themselves into our routines, offering comfort and convenience. Yet, as we've seen, they may also be silently affecting our health, especially as our bodies grow more delicate with age. It's easy to overlook the invisible forces around us, but the choices we make tonight can shape the quality of our tomorrow. Imagine waking up feeling truly refreshed, your mind clear, your body lighter, free from unexplained aches or restless nights. This is not just a dream, it's within your reach. By simply making thoughtful changes, moving devices, unplugging what's unnecessary, and embracing gentle, natural alternatives, you create a sanctuary where your body can heal and your spirit can rest. You deserve this peace. You deserve nights filled with deep, restorative sleep that fuels your days with energy and joy. Remember, it's never too late to take charge of your health. These small steps aren't burdens. They're acts of kindness toward yourself, an affirmation that your well-being matters. Share what you've learned, help others see these hidden dangers, and together, let's build homes filled with safety, comfort, and love. You've given so much in life. Now it's time to give back to yourself. Because every night you rest well, you gift yourself a better tomorrow. And you deserve nothing less.